What's going on YouTube? This is Ross's Reef bringing you a quick update of the Nuvo Fusion 20 gallon. It's been a while since I did a video update. I recorded a couple, but they were just kind of very long and it took forever for me to upload, and every time I tried to upload it I encountered some error. So I'm just going to do this shorter one instead. Not much has changed in the course of the tank. My rock has gotten a little darker in color. I am starting to get some coralline algae growth on the tips of the rock towards the top. Very happy about that. What else? The overall nitrates and everything are staying very low. I do believe, like I said, that is due to the adequate filtration I have in here, both mechanical, chemical, and biological. The biological filtration I have is due to the hang on the back refugium, where I am running chaetomorpha algae. You can't really see it, the light's off right now. The mechanical filtration is due to the filter floss I have, and then the chemical filtration is the GFO and carbon that I have running. Fish right now that I have in the tank are the two Ocellaris clowns. If you remember, I had one in here for a while. The other one was in quarantine. He wasn't looking too hot, but he is back in the tank and doing great. I have the little baby blue tang down there who is doing pretty good. Got a little seaweed, innovative marine gourmet. That's the grazer, which works really, really well, guys. Give that product a 10 out of 10 probably. I'd say the biggest challenge you're gonna have with that is just getting your tang or any fish to eat off of it, but once they do, it is a lifesaver. I mean, my tang is already eating off of it, and it saves me from having seaweed floating all over the tank. At first, I did have it all the way on the bottom of the tank, sitting kind of in the sand, but then I had hermit crabs crawling up and stealing all the seaweed, so I moved it up a little bit, and it's doing really good there now. The tang, every time it wants some, it just goes right over to it and picks it. You can see his little tang right there. He's so cool. Like I said, this tang eventually will get moved out of this tank once it gets too big, but for the time being, she's doing pretty good in here and has adequate swimming room, especially since she's never even moved to this half of the tank yet. She hasn't even gone past right here. I've never seen her on this side of the tank. She sticks back there in her little corner, and then every now and then she'll go in that hole as you saw her. But she is very healthy. She's eating a lot. Every time I put mysis shrimp or something in, she swarms and just kills it. So really happy that she's doing really good. Little cleaner shrimp right here is doing good. Don't have any problems with him. He goes over to the gourmet grazer every now and then and gets a quick bite of seaweed. Let's see if you can see him without me spooking. Yeah, little watchman goby's doing really cool. He's good. Him and the pistol shrimp have a couple little burrows under this big rock. One right here, another one right there, and then another one kind of right down there. They kind of change burrows every couple days or whatever. Right now it's over there in that corner. So, other little fish I have is the firefish. Let's see if we can see him. I don't know where he's at, but he's doing good. He hides out in his little cave. Oh, there's his head right there. See him? There we go. He hides out in that little cave whenever food comes around, or whenever he just feels like swimming, he comes out. So, as far as coral, did get a couple new coral recently. I know y'all saw this is the multicolored, apparently, hammer coral. Doing pretty good right there. I did just switch on the lights so I could do this video. They were kind of almost going into a night mode, so that's why it's kind of closed up right now, some of the coral. Devil's hand right there is doing really good, really big and puffed up. The candy canes are doing good, nice coloration on them. They're starting to get puffy, which I'm really happy about because it makes them look very much more pretty. The green bird's nest I have right here is doing really, really good. It's got white tips all over the place. That thing is getting very good water movement as well as light. It is kind of directly under the radion, just offset a tiny bit. So this tricolored ORA coral, I'm not if that's an acro, I think, is doing pretty good. Haven't seen too much growth from it, but it's got adequate coloration and everything, so happy about that. Right here we have the Hollywood, or just the Stunner cap, I think it's called. Doing really good. Got a ton of polyps on it. Really like the coloration on it. Really cool coral. My Hollywood Stunner Chalice. Finally, guys, finally. This thing for a while was not looking good in my tank. It just, when I got it, it just wouldn't color up. It was kind of whitish. It had a little bit of color, but now it's finally looking good. It's got some deep, deep color. All the little, it had a little tear in it, and that is completely healed up, and it is starting to grow, so I'm really, really happy about that. Most of the time it has been up here in the higher lighting, so this coral to me does seem to like higher lighting, so I may try to keep it up there. I haven't decided yet. But going over to this red Montipora, I think. I'm not exactly sure what it's called. I had the name written down at one point. But doing really, really good, guys. When I bumped that coral, it was actually over here in this piece. And now I have two pieces of it because this one is growing and this one over here is growing now. So both those are really fast growing corals. So if you're looking for a nice little red coral to have in your tank, those are the ones to get, guys. Really good growing coral, like it a lot. The frog spawn, just doing great as usual. This frog spawn has always looked really, really good in my tank. It's got very good polyp extension. I like it a lot. It seems to get very good water movement where it's at, and adequate lighting. So I'm happy it's doing good there. Down here, green star polyps. These guys have encrusted on the rock a good bit since I first got them. I'm really happy about that. They're really growing. My hope is in a couple months to just have that whole rock totally encrusted with the green star polyps. That'll look really, really good at nighttime with the blue lights. Right there, I did get a little Kenya tree. It was glued onto this rock, not but about an hour ago. And I guess it popped off. I just glued it on there today. I just got it. Just a little coral from the pet store. It was a couple dollars, so I just decided to get it. Over here, we have those little pieces of those bicolored hammers, which just suck, I'm not gonna lie. These corals they're literally that big. It's not like they're not doing well or anything. It's just the polyps are that big on it. So those are just down there chilling. Right here we have that Duncan coral. When I first got this coral, man, it was so big and so open, and then this little crab came and messed with it, that little emerald crab. Where are you at? You're somewhere in here, you little bugger. Messed with it and popped the tentacle off, and ever since then it doesn't open up as much as it did. I might try to move that up into higher lighting in a couple days, or tomorrow. I'm going to move it up probably and see how it does, but hopefully it does good, because it was really pretty when it opened up. Right here we have some pulsing zinnia. I just got this today, just glued it on the rock, so it's pretty closed up still right now, but gotta love that stuff. I may end up moving it over here, where it's not directly in the current of the MP10. That way I can actually see it pulsing and it's not just kind of flowing in the wind. Over here, I don't really know what this is called. This is a red palm something. Anyway, this coral, for a decent size, about like this big of it, costs like $100 at this pet store. And I really like the way it looks when it matures and everything. It's got a beautiful red color. They had these frags for like 20 bucks at the pet store, so I was like, alright, I can't pass that up. I wanted one. They look really good, so hopefully it grows all over that rock right there and I get a nice, good, beautiful coral out of it. Going over to the zoanthids. Zoanthids are doing good. This is the green, I believe they're called the Leonardo zoas. Those polyps are just getting bigger and bigger. Really, really good coloration on them now. Really, the green and the blue really does pop out. I am getting another polyp underneath there. You can see the crab is rubbing up against it. It's closing up right now. Another polyp's coming out underneath there, kind of where his foot is, to the top right. There's another one coming out, so really happy about that. Not exactly sure what this zoanthid is called. Really pretty, though, when it's nothing but the blue lights on during the day. It's not all that great, though. Eagle Eye zoanthids right here. Let me zoom out a little bit. Eagle Eyes are doing good. Starting to encrust on the rock more so, and off the original little rock that it came on. Not sure what these zoanthids are called, guys. If you can help me out. I know I'm trying to focus on them right now, and I can't seem to focus. That's going to be the best I can get. If you can tell me what those are, someone in the comments, that would be really great. Would enjoy it a lot. Right here, the other zoanthid colony did get another polyp on the backside back there, so happy about that. The Rasta zoas are doing good. I've got one new baby polyp on the top left up there just bloomed, so really happy. Underneath the big one, it's got another one coming out, so soon I will have 4 Rastas, which I'm happy about because those are not cheap corals. So I'm glad those are doing good. Over here we just have the red cap. It's growing a little bit on the side over there. You can see it's got a little bit of white on the edges, and it's got some new growth on it, so happy about that. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the coral right now in the tank. Oh, the rose bubble tip anatomy, let's get to that. That guy was originally right up here in the front of the tank, if you remember. Clowns loved it up there. They hosted it. I thought it was going to stay right there, but it worked its way around the rock. It does still get good lighting over there, and it seems to be happy right there. So, hey, it's not by any coral, which is a plus for me, and I can still see it. So, if it wants to stay over there, I'm happy about that. That's pretty much it for coral. Let me talk about one quick thing that happened in my tank. I woke up one morning and I heard one of my pumps making a little brrr sound like it was on empty, and I was like, the only things that I have pumps that are for that is one, my auto top off, my calcium, my alkalinity, and my magnesium, and I was like, oh my god, which one is doing that? Turns out my calcium dosed 800 mils of calcium, bulk reef supply calcium, into my tank. I was freaking out. I automatically did a like 90% water change. I didn't know how detrimental it would be to the fish and the coral, so I just automatically changed. Luckily, I had water on hand because I do have my own RODI unit. Very good plus there, guys, to have water on hand in case of an emergency. I am forever thankful I did. So I did do the 90% water change. I don't know exactly how long that pump had been dosing. I assume it was all night, so the calcium levels were at that high all night. I did do the water change, and I did manage to bring the calcium levels down to like 600. So much more manageable. Luckily, nothing bad happened. All the corals still look fine. They're all growing very well. The only thing that did kind of happen is when I did do the water change, I tried to heat it up to the temperature of the tank as best I could. But at the time, I was still kind of freaking out, so I didn't probably do it as good as I should have. The tank temperature did dip about a couple of degrees, and I think that stressed the little blue tang a tiny bit. He had a couple little white spots on him earlier, but he seems to be doing much better now. I'm not worried about him. He eats very well, and he also has all the seaweed over there. I am also feeding sea chems. Let me see what the name of that stuff is. Sea chem, that vitamin stuff that you add onto the fish food. I'll find out the name later, but they said that stuff has vitamins and everything for the fish, and then I also put garlic guard on my foods as well, so he's pretty protected. Going over to some equipment, I did put a UV sterilizer on the tank. I don't know if I showed that in my last video or not, but it is in the sump right there. You can see what that little light is. It is just a little Green Machine 9-watt UV sterilizer. I really don't know how effective that's doing on this tank. It may not be doing anything, but you know, if it kills just any of the free-floating parasites I may end up having, any ick, if it helps any type of algae break out, you know, it's beneficial. I don't think it's harming my tank in any way whatsoever, so I'm just going to keep it on. Other than that, everything is going good. So this has been Ross's Reef. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I do answer them as fast as I can. I have answered a couple people's questions. If you would like to see any of my products more so up close, what I've done, any custom things I've done to this tank, please comment below. I will explain and probably make a video about it and address your question personally. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and I will be constantly doing more videos and updates on any product reviews and any coral and growth in the tank. I will be doing, in about my next video or two, I will be doing a strict review on the CPR hang on the back refugium, so check that out, stay tuned for that, and I'll see y'all later. This has been Ross's Reef, signing off.